The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Reviewing movies for the show, Four Guys and a Movie.
Welcome back to the Four Guys in a Movie podcast, everybody, where we watch movies from the past and see how they hold up to our older, more cynical selves. None of that really applies because, I mean, A-Team. Yeah, A-Team. All right. We watched the A-Team this week. I mean, can you really say you've watched a film like this?
Like
kind of
this?
In the room while it happened.
Oh, it was a special event.
No, we watched it like a slow molasses just oozing down your face.
Wow. Why my face?
Because it
Some
seems...
kind of tree beard for
Yeah, because it's sticky and unpleasant. Nobody wants it.
Wow. All right. I'm going to let that soundbite just stay where it's at. In the meantime, like I said, we watched the A-Team from what, 2010?
Yes.
Okay, 2010. And what else can you guys tell me about this movie?
I'm Will, by the way.
I'm Rob. I don't care. Whatever.
T.A. Baracus.
My T.A. Baracus.
Nice.
Tits and S. Baracus.
I guess I'll be Murdoch. I don't know.
I'll be asshole.
All right.
Who do you think you would be?
I don't know.
I'm Face. Will Face.
Face.
Little face. I guess you're Hannibal by default.
I'm Hannibal.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's exactly where I want to be. So yeah, that's us. Man, this has got me totally off my game.
It was an experience.
It really was. Tony, tell us about this movie.
All right, so yeah, it's the A-Team from 2010. Rated PG-13. Directed by Joe
Not me.
Carnahan, who did Narc, Smoking Aces, The Gray, and The Stretch. Yeah, nobody. Bueller.
All I know is in The Gray, Liam Neeson like punched a bunch of wolves.
Yeah.
Well, he tried to.
Didn't quite get there.
That scene from the trailers is the last couple of frames of the movie.
Yeah. John Singleton was originally going to direct. When he had the movie, the original cast was going to be Mel Gibson as Hannibal.
Oh, there you
Jesus.
Christian Bale as Face.
go.
Jim Carrey as Murdoch. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson as B.A. Baracus.
That's kind of fun.
That sounds like the Expendables.
Kind of. Other possibilities for Hannibal were Harrison Ford, Bruce Willis, George Clooney.
I would have liked a Harrison
Thomas Lee
Ford
Jones.
Hannibal.
Harrison Ford.
Tommy Lee
Hannibal would
Jones,
be
you
great.
said?
Yeah. And
Wait,
Murdoch
Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah.
As who?
as Hannibal.
Father?
In a wheelchair.
Well, also keep in mind we don't know how long this was in development for, so
Since the show was still running on air?
yes. Possibilities for Murdoch were Woody Harrelson and Ryan Reynolds. Possibilities for B.A. Baracus was Common, Ice Cube, and Game.
The tobacco.
Those are just nouns. What are you talking about?
Those are people.
A common ice cube with game.
Derek Benedict, one of the few stars. He played Face in the original A-Team movie, did make an appearance in this movie, which he has since gone on to say he regrets and refuses to watch the movie itself. Mr. T, as we discussed earlier, amongst ourselves anyway, just flat out refused to be in this movie. He wanted nothing to do with it.
Good job, Mr. T.
Well,
Stand up for your principles.
I mean, Mr. T I get, but the regret from the other guy, I mean, if we're all being real here, and that's what we do on this podcast, is
we're fucking real.
We be real as ish. The original A-Team show was stupid as hell too. The last episode I recall, they made cannons out of soda bottles, I believe.
Probably.
Well, every episode of the show, they were locked in an area with tons of construction materials and
Yes.
given all the time they needed to assemble a like Rube Goldberg style.
So it was like a
death machine.
MacGyver situation.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, but it had a charm to it. Like, as long as you knew that's what you were getting into.
Well, I mean, it had the veneer of 80s on top
Yeah.
of it, which, everything was new and different.
But and finally, of course, a sequel was planned, but immediately canceled due to poor box office performance.
As soon as they called cut, that sequel was canceled.
That's a wrap on this franchise.
Scripts was burned.
Yeah.
Producers jumped off a cliff.
Originally, they just took the film off the camera and just put it in the trash. Some guy just went back afterwards. And
How many
pulled it all
cast
out.
members were told to fall on their swords afterwards? Or
Well, no,
how
I
many
mean,
crew members?
it's like, all right, listen, guys, we were gonna have a sequel, but our editors keep shooting themselves, so this might not work out. But anyone want to guess at how much money this movie had to make?
Too much, like a
Yeah.
100.
I'm going to go a little, I'm going to say 115.
I'll say 125.
You're so close, Rob. It was 110.
Oh, that was my first.
Yeah, Joe gets the win.
Do, do, do.
Want to guess how much this made worldwide?
Not that.
I'm going to say,
Oh wait, worldwide, maybe.
I'm going to go and say 115.
Yeah, I'll just stick with my original guess, 100.
130.
177,
Nice.
Okay.
but
What was U.S.?
77.
Oh my God.
So yeah, not so big over here. But, so yeah, who's in this wonderful masterpiece?
So, one area where this movie does not go wrong is its cast. I mean, you got Liam Neeson. He's pretty much always welcome. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. I mean, his face. Quentin Rampage Jackson as B.A. Baracus. Sharlto Copley, again, he's always welcome, as Murdoch. Jessica Biel as unnecessary character Charissa Sosa.
Is she always welcome?
Yes.
No.
She's welcome.
God.
when
On
I'm
USA.
She's welcome when you're around.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson as Lynch as Conan O'Brien, and Gerald McRanev as General Morrison.
around. Major Dad.
Major Dad.
Major Dad.
General
yeah.
Dad, Rob.
Get it right.
He got
General
promoted, yeah.
General Bad. So what's all y'all's history with this film?
I had seen it once before. I think I might have even seen it in the theaters.
Just for Jessica Biel?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then left, 5 minutes in.
No, Will, you and I were watching a little bit of Iron Man 2 before we soaked in the A-Team. Jessica Biel from A-Team or Scarlett Johansson from Iron Man
That's
2?
tough.
Oh, ScarJo all the
I
way.
don't find that tough.
Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson.
Yeah.
If you were to say that to me now, like current time, I'd say probably current Jessica Biel, current ScarJo.
Yeah, but that was like
Really?
peak Scarlett Johansson.
I mean,
Yeah, it really was.
Jessica Biel is a very attractive lady.
Oh, yeah.
But Scarlett Johansson generally tends to make good movies for the most part, and Jessica Biel does not.
I think Joe is missing what we're doing here. We are debasing ourselves
yeah.
as humans and men.
Married men.
No, all right,
Married men
no, but
specifically.
even from raw sex appeal, Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah, I mean,
she got that redhead thing going on.
not anymore. She's got that weird blonde
Oh, it's
bowl
back.
cut thing.
It's back.
And is it?
Yeah,
It's coming back.
All right, we'll see.
We'll
see.
At least something clip I saw. It's back.
Endgame will be the deciding factor.
We'll discuss after the movie.
There will be some
Blood.
yeah.
There will be blood.
There'll be some variations, I'm guessing, throughout.
Tony, what's your history with this film?
This was a one and done. It was I'm bored, curious rental, and it was like, what the hell
Curious
did I do?
rental.
Yes. Yeah, I was a little curious in college. I rented this.
He picked up a couple of movies that were called the A-Team.
Well, I'm just picturing like it's a bunch of like LBGQ movies and then just the A-Team on the rack.
Someone
For curious
Someone
rentals.
placed in the wrong section.
Yeah. 3 seasons of Queer as Folk.
Yeah.
And A-Team.
he saw Liam Neeson's name come on the screen. He's like, "Oh, well, all right.
This
That's
is
a welcome
unexpected,
surprise."
but not unwelcome.
I always thought. Joe, what's your history?
This did not make it out of the concept phase with me. I mean, I have some pretty fond nostalgia for the A-Team, and so already I'm like, why would you reboot it and fuck it up? Then someone told me about the tank, and I'm like, oh, we're done. It's over. There's
I'm pretty sure that scene was in like all the trailers.
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was their selling point.
no. I don't think I don't know if I saw a trailer for this.
Oh wow.
Like,
Joe refused to
Yeah.
watch the trailers.
I mean, by 2010, I was done with TV. So, like, I haven't, you know, and if I saw that popping up on my computer, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, skip it.
All right. Well, this was another movie that just came up on my rotation while I was building the Ultimate Millennium Falcon, and I didn't really pay any attention to it, so I was busy sorting thousands of gray pieces. Yeah. So, Will, I think you had something extra you wanted to share.
Sure. I was doing some Wikipedia digging and found this pretty enlightening quote from Liam Neeson about the possible sequel.
Oh.
And it said, Neeson later commented in early 2012 that he understood why the film was not successful. I watched it about 2 months ago, and I found it a little confusing, and I was in the thing. I just couldn't figure out who was who and what's been done to him and why a little bit. I think that sums it up really well.
And we're done.
And I think we should also clarify, were you on the wiki page after we watched the movie?
No, during it constantly, just to understand what was going on.
Yeah, like we seriously needed. I needed like a translator to like sit next to me. I needed my spouse to pretend I was blind while watching the film and explain to me what was happening.
No, you know what's sad? I had the same thought here that I had when I watched Game of Thrones, which was I loved the Game of Thrones DVDs when I watched them because you had a little button you could bring up the whole family tree and like these are the people on screen. This is how they're connected to other. Like you could just bring that up on the side of the screen to tell you what was going on.
In a
I
movie-
needed that here.
In a movie with 6 characters.
Yes. In a movie that, in theory, was less than 3 hours. I'm not sure
Just
what
felt a lot
happened.
longer.
Yeah.
now I will. Again, this was the extended version because this was the only version that I could
Rent.
rent from the Blockbuster.
The Captain Marvel
with
filter.
with the big Brie Larson shaped hole in the ceiling. So let's just jump right in. Who wants to lead us off?
Well, I mean, we start with both a literal and metaphorical beating of Liam Neeson. He's just tied to a chair being punched by some Mexicans.
Yeah.
Again, you have now. I don't know if subtitles were ever in the picture, but they certainly weren't in the
that's what
copy I saw.
We were discussing that too.
I believe they were supposed to be because I
Yeah.
did read something about one of the little things was they used different fonts for each language that was
Yeah.
subtitled, and we had no subtitles. So
Yeah, so here I had a interaction with Brick that went something along the lines of him saying, "Kind of wish we could hear what they were saying," and I was like, "Do you?" And he was like, "No."
I think we had a similar one because I was like, "Shouldn't there be subtitles?" And Rob was
Yeah.
like, "I could turn them on." I was like, "Nah."
Well, I think
Yeah.
it was almost like intentionally the audio was like lowered because they knew there were supposed to be subtitles there. But then when there weren't subtitles, it's just like I can't hear what they're saying. And
I think the audio was just messed up. But Joe, if I may ask, if you ever run into this kind of a situation with Brick again, would you ask him to just write down what he thinks there's,
Okay,
and then bring it here? We'll read it on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Brick's brain went through a lot on this, so I don't know if he was capable of writing.
You know, it was early on in the film yet.
Yeah, true. But their conversation is something to the effect of, "Let's kill this guy. I have a gun with bullets in it." And he's like, "No, use the gun without bullets in it." "Oh, the gun doesn't have bullets. Darn, we don't have any bullets. Let's leave and send the dogs after him."
Yeah, but I believe the whole deal was the gun had the firing pin taken out of it,
Yeah.
not the bullet.
Oh, see, I did not gather that because the firing pin is for the handcuffs. Okay.
Yes.
And that was Liam Neeson's gun. That makes a little more
Because
sense.
he plans everything.
damn it, the subtitles would have been
That's
helpful.
also
Yeah.
not
They're
really
probably like, shoot him with his
possible
gun.
Right,
unless
yeah.
he. I mean, I guess he wanted to be captured. I don't know.
It's
Whatever.
Like please don't shoot me with my own gun.
Yeah.
He did for something, which again, maybe if we could understand what they
Yeah.
were saying, maybe he got some information out of it. I don't know. But
All right. So anyway, so Hannibal over here picks the handcuffs. The dogs come in. He does something to them in the darkness where they are now handcuffed together.
Yeah,
and
what?
Totally docile.
what did he do?
Now I understand that you could handcuff the dogs together. I believe you.
Yeah.
But like, now it's just two dogs that are together and angry and biting you.
Yes.
You're 2/3 towards a Cerebus.
Yeah.
Still coming right at you.
Also, he put it on their collar, which meant his hands were very close to their mouth.
That's how King Ghidorah got started. Khaleesi sent all of her dragons after Godzilla, and he just handcuffed them all together.
And evolution took its
Exactly.
course.
They did the dragon dance and fused.
Into Ghidra. Okay, so then we meet BA, who has pity and fool on his fists.
They really lay into this pity the fool thing hard.
I saw that and I was like, God.
Which he never actually said in the A-Team.
I don't think he actually did, come to think of it.
That was a line from Rocky.
I think so,
when
yeah.
he's on the steps yelling at him.
Yeah.
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 I don't think that was even in the A-Team.
I don't think so either.
They just
Retcon it in.
they took their misinformation and they ran with it, man.
So, like, he goes to this place and he's like, yo, I want my van. They're like, yo, we have a lot of guns and guys. He's like, all right, so none of you shoot those guns and I'm going to punch all of you.
Yeah.
And then that last guy's like, I'm going to fight you.
I can do flips and shit.
You're like this huge, like, ultimate fighter guy. And BA kicks him so hard he flies across the room.
Yep.
And into a window.
Yep.
All right.
To get his van
Yeah, the A-Team van.
is the A-Team van.
Which, okay, I was like, that's kind of cool. There's the A-Team van.
Yep.
That was an important part of the show.
Yep.
All right, then we go. He drives. He meets up with Hannibal. Hannibal shoots him. Then is like, "Oh, you're a ranger. My bad. Ranger buddies."
Your mom is Martha.
Let's recite
Yeah.
My
the
mom is
BA's
Martha.
like, "Oh, okay. You're a ranger too. It's cool that you shot me.
Let's kiss.
We're good."
Quick side note here, because we commented on this while watching it. He's like, I need to steal your car because I have a buddy who's about to get killed and I desperately need to get to him real fast. And he's like, well, you're not taking my van. And so they just sit and have a chit chat for like 20
A
minutes.
while.
Yeah. Just they recite a
Swapping
poem
stories,
about
yeah.
about their military.
I
deal,
did
whatever.
at one point yell at the TV like, "Yo, Face is in trouble."
Yeah.
They were about to have that scene from Jaws where we're all comparing scars with each other.
Yeah.
Well, I was just doing the countdown in my head, like as they were talking. I'm like, okay, and he's dead. All right, and now they're feeding him to the dogs and are cutting him into pieces. Like,
So BA has a few powers in this movie. Besides the only one who is actually able to execute a proper A-Team tackle, even though he needs a motorcycle to spring off of. He also has the ability to have a car arrive at perfect timing, even though he can't see the thing that he's timed for.
Yes.
So in this case, they're about to shoot Face, who they've covered him in tires and lit the tires on fire. And this is like a bunch of...
and put a noose around his neck.
Yeah, a bunch of federales, I think, or something, some corrupt
yeah,
cops
like
in Mexico.
corrupt soldiers or something. Yeah.
Yeah, policia. But they, they're about to kill him. Then, the van just comes over, like hits a bunch of people. And at this point, the movie can't make up its mind if it's going to be like the actual A-Team show where they shot a lot of bullets at people but never killed anybody. Or, you know, like, so they're like hitting people with the van's door and stuff like that and throwing tires at people and stuff. Or like later on in the movie where they're just straight up shooting people.
Yeah. Like straight up headshots. Like
Yeah.
point blank headshots.
So you're
Not
like,
them all the time, but
I don't know what's happening here.
Well, he does shoot a few people on his way out.
Yeah. So then they kick Face down a hill to put, which actually is an okay move because it puts his fire out. And then they go and they pick him up and okay, we got Face. Now we got to make a getaway. So the federales take a while to start deciding to chase them.
But yeah, this is another big problem I had because, like you said, they kick him in the tires and he rolls down the hill and they're just like, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Because like he doesn't go that far that fast.
Yeah, they're talking about some girl that's with them. That Face was.
Oh well, they're having a whole chit chat as they drive
Yeah.
away. But I'm talking about like the bad guys. They're just like hey, get after them.
Yeah.
Oh wait a second, Timmy's got to tie his shoe.
was that like the bad guy's wife or something?
I don't know.
Again, probably needed the translation,
Yeah,
but I think so.
They
Yeah.
had to stop and see where the Nestle Crunch bar fell on the candy bar spectrum, and then, you know, they all agreed that Almond Joy is a terrible candy bar, and then they got into.
I agree with you there. Almond
Yeah.
Joy is a terrible candy.
I'm just imagining like this drug lord or whatever he's supposed to be. They're all like, "We need to go get them. He stole my wife. Let's get after him." But then they're like, "Well, who's riding with who? We got to work out a chart." Like,
Yeah.
Did Billy
who's
bring
getting in this
the
car?
sedan? Or
They were
Yeah.
comparing ranger tattoos.
Oh, what's that? We have a helicopter? Well, I want to be in the helicopter, so
Yeah, so now they go to a hospital, and just pick up a person. They're just like, this got this crazy guy who's a pilot. Yeah, we can take him. Now?
Well, they needed a pilot, is what
Yeah.
they said. Even though BA said he was in the Air Rangers,
Yep.
would he not know how to fly? a
Not
plane
necessarily.
At all?
He wouldn't know how
Okay,
to.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, get it right.
So
Sorry, guys.
yeah.
Hey, we need a pilot, so let's go to this mental
So
hospital.
they're like, Murdoch's crazy. Let's just have him do random things like sew lightning bolts in people and light Face's arm on fire.
Yeah.
Your
Because he
best
smelled
friend.
like gasoline. Yeah, all right, cool. We're rolling with this guy. And then they go and they get Murdoch and get a helicopter. And they got this old, like, Vietnam era, like, medical helicopter. And they take off and they're being chased by a more modern attack helicopter.
And this is where we all kind of assumed that you checked out of the movie.
Oh, yeah. No, the moment I saw it was a helicopter chasing another helicopter, I'm like, nothing good is going to happen here.
And boy, were you right.
Here comes Joe's notes.
Okay, so...
Also, quick side note: as we're taking off from this hospital, they knocked something off the roof. I gotta assume a bunch of people on life support just died.
Yeah. I mean, it was...
They take out the electricity.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's Mexico, and they took out the air conditioner, is what that probably was.
Yeah.
Water
It did look
purifier
like-
Yeah.
system.
It looked like a condenser up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, and they take out the A-Team van. It's gone.
Yep.
That's it. That's all you
Blowed up
get.
for the rest of the
It's
movie.
destroyed. They fucking, like,
Doesn't even come back at the
they
end.
Jimmy Olsen the A-Team van.
The worst part is
I
they
mean, they named it.
they took
kinda.
the time
No,
to
they
go
didn't.
have BA be like, I love that van. I did all this shit to get it, and he's like, oh, just don't worry, we can come back for it. Like, don't say that shit and then destroy it.
Yeah.
Although I do like how later on he's like looking at pictures of like, what is it, a Humvee?
Something they got back for him in LA.
Yeah, and he's looking at it like, next time, baby.
So,
If I don't get recast.
Yeah.
all right.
Into the trash bin.
So now, yeah, we got some problems. You got a helicopter chasing another helicopter. Now, their helicopter doesn't have any guns or anything. And the helicopter coming after them has both missile launchers and a door gunner. And so they fire some heat seekers at them. And so to stop the heat seekers, he pulls up on the helicopter, flies it straight upwards, which not possible.
Even I
Do-
knew that
yeah,
part.
Does a barrel roll, which granted some helicopters you can do, but not recommended.
Especially with that frog telling
Yeah,
you what to do.
usually needs to be in like ideal conditions in like a brand new helicopter.
He's crazy. He
Yeah,
did it.
sure.
I'll give him that.
All right, but then so now while he's,
He's
flying
crazy.
straight up,
Physics
he
don't
turns
apply.
the engine off. Just turns it off. And yeah, and so okay, the heat seekers don't hit it. That's fine.
Yeah, they immediately just
Yeah.
spin around around
Around
the sides of it and hit each other.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that if they turn it off, all the heat from the engine dissipates
Immediately.
instantly?
Immediately.
Okay.
Also, their body
yeah.
heat means nothing.
No, because engine is full power or no power. That's it.
Okay.
Because it's right back to full power because it somehow lifts them off again.
Which is
even though-
weird because I've seen helicopters take off and they take a minute
A
to
while.
spin up.
Yeah.
Also, side note for you all, if you ever have a situation where for whatever reason you're encountered with a predator, just get up into a helicopter and shut the engine off occasionally.
Yeah, you're good.
Land on it.
Yeah.
Cover the
Smash
helicopter
the
in
predator.
mud.
And completely disguise you.
So then, like, I don't know if they're just out of missiles or they're like, oh, well, heat seekers can't work because they're going to do that again. So they never tried, like, the helicopter chasing them never tries to fire more heat seekers at them.
So at one point he does say all we have left is the heat seekers, but
Yeah.
they don't say how many they have.
Yeah,
So maybe they were
okay.
out of.
Yeah, I mean, they probably weren't prepared to
Yeah.
go
They might have depleted
ham
what they had.
on Murdoch with a whole bunch of missiles. But anyway, okay.
And they did fire like 12 at them into the side of that mountain
Yeah.
somehow.
So those at least were from like the rocket pods that are meant to be fired at something at on the ground that's not moving too quick. But anyway, they fly across the U.S. border, which okay, smart. They get into American airspace, and yeah, if you are attempting to cross the border, into America, you will immediately get an F-22 Raptor in your face, just firing some surface-to-air missiles at you.
So I need to build that wall.
Yeah, gotta stop them attack
High
jets.
enough the helicopters can't
Yeah.
get through.
Build it real high.
Put like
So-
Yeah, they have
put like
jets.
some netting.
They routinely
Like
just
at a
have
hockey
jets
game.
like patrolling
Yeah.
the border there, right?
Yeah, no, not even like helicopters or something that would engage troops on the ground. Just air superiority fighters just flying around that border.
Yeah, why not?
Got to watch out for that formidable Mexican Air Force. So,
Also, I'm sure that jet, if it wasn't already in the air, just takes seconds to get somebody in that cockpit and fly in.
yeah. So, that was actually though the only part of the chase I actually liked because it was like, oh look, a cool plane and it blew something up.
Well,
Yay! And they didn't do any bullshit. Okay, so now 80 missions later, suddenly they're like the coolest army unit.
Right.
Ooh, my ass disagrees.
Mine are silent
if
over
I
here.
recall on the show, I don't know for sure because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure even the first episode they were already on the run.
Right.
Like it just
Yes.
started with them being on the run.
They've been disavowed by the military.
Yeah.
But this is
They're
an
on the
origin story.
yeah, I guess.
So like
A-Team Origins Wolverine.
when those came like when those words came on the screen, it said like 6 years and 80 successful missions or whatever later. I assumed that they were implying that the whole of the television show took place within that time, and this was like picking up after. But I was,
See, that's better than me because the way they shot it with this helicopter that looked a lot like the helicopter they were flying in on, I was like, were they flying for 6 years? What the fuck?
Let's just compare a few other movies here. Okay, so Aliens. Did we need to see how each colonial marine joined the squad?
well, if you ask Ridley Scott, yes, he will
Yes.
probably end up making those movies.
Okay.
Michael
I
Caine.
believe Apone is set
Yeah.
for a 2022 release. And Wazbowski is coming up right after that.
Don't forget about Spunkmeyer.
No, I can't forget about Spunkmeyer. It's funny, we have like this, I'll tell you later.
Okay. So,
It's work related.
yeah, Predator. Like, every guy in Dutch's team, did we need to know how they joined the squad? No.
I would actually have loved to know.
I would have loved
I
to.
would love to see that
Give
origin.
me a
I
Carl,
could have seen
Carl
it,
Weathers
but,
origin story.
but was it necessary? No. Why? Why do we need this? Like, all these movies where it's a bunch of guys that do a thing. Like The Italian Job, did we need to know how each of them joined it? No, we got a quick little bio on each one, and you're good.
But Joe, there's something for you to know. It's important people realize that no one is just afraid of flying for no rational reason. They need to have a story as to why they're afraid of flying.
This is setting up the ATCU.
Especially if that reason that they're afraid of flying is they don't know how seatbelts or doors work.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they were trying to go for a Major Dad spin-off.
Just the Lynch story. All the different Lynches.
So, now Jessica Biel shows up.
Scorch is really the Ant-Man of the
Also-
ATCU.
That at least got its spin-off and it's still going. That's what Jane Lynch is all about.
Yeah, so she shows up and she's just like, Face, I don't like you. Also, like, the thing you're gonna do, don't do it. And then, like, Face is like, what's the thing I'm gonna do? And then
And the audience is like, what the thing they're going to do?
Like, who is this woman? Where does she come
yeah,
from?
you find out that, like, okay, these guys have some plates from a mint that was made in Baghdad to, like, print American money, and the mint was destroyed, but the plates are still good. So they need to get those back, and there's $1 billion of cash. So, like, the general who's, like, Hannibal's best friend is like, yo, dude, don't do it. And, like, Hannibal's like, yo, I gotta do it. He's like, don't do it. Even though I'm a superior officer, and I'm telling you, don't do it.
But I'm not making it an order.
Yeah.
But then
Just
does the
saying don't
CIA
do
guy
it.
show up yet?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
this
oh,
is the
yeah.
problem. The
Lynch-
CIA shows up and they're like, "All right, they got these plates."
It's like simultaneously.
Yeah,
They're all
well,
here at the same
yeah.
time.
He's like, "They got these plates. We need you to go get these plates. You gotta go get these plates." And he's like, I'll probably do that. Let me go talk to Major Dad." And he's like, I don't know what's going on with these plates. You probably shouldn't get these plates, but you should probably go get these plates." So he's like, "All right, we're gonna go get these plates." And Jessica Biel's like, I think you guys are going after these plates, but you shouldn't get these plates." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking
And then
about."
there's
with
like the privatized military guys that are like set up to be villains.
Yeah, you got
The
Black Forest.
But
Yeah,
this is
like Mars
already
Pam.
where I'm like, I don't know what's happening because, like, am I following that? There's
Yeah.
just 3 different branches of the government
is my
telling
note.
them not to do anything.
Is this whole movie an inside joke?
Yeah, and this, like, right here is about where the movie should start.
Yes.
We didn't need the origin.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just
Oh, yeah.
right here.
Totally.
And You could have just met all of the characters in a nice little scene. You see Murdoch do something crazy.
They're all Rangers. What is
Yeah.
the point of having them separate at the beginning of the movie? Like, they're all Rangers.
Okay, so
And so, did they officially work for the military? Are they guns for hire? What did we ever figure that out? No, they must be for the military because they got
yeah,
they're like a
special-
specialized unit.
yeah.
They're like a black
Well,
ops unit. I'm
But they're a
assuming.
specialized unit that just like formed out of random circumstance.
Yeah, they're like, they're all like,
It doesn't make sense.
yeah.
They just showed up one day and were like, hey, superior officers, I know we're all from different branches of the military.
But we're all friends.
But we're
Can we
like,
stay
we're
together?
a team now.
More than that, if we're going,
This
we're
dude
going with
an
the
eye
origin.
patch showed up.
If we're going with the origin movie, I want to see like, but you know, before we got the 6 months later, where it's just like, all right, hey, you know how I had this cool military team with Face? We just picked up this black dude and this insane guy out of an insane asylum. We want to be pals now.
Yeah, we're
like,
cool,
are you
right?
cool with that?
They're like, wait, you actually want to go to Iraq?
Let us
yeah,
do
all right,
missions.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Good. Yeah,
yeah,
you're an elite
that's
unit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds
You might
Better
be
than
right.
Blackwater. Send
Maybe-
them over.
Maybe this is
Question.
the original Suicide Squad.
Question for the group.
Yes.
Who is the Nick Fury of the ATCU?
Major Dad, right?
Do you think Major Dad is the
Yeah, I
he's
think
the Nick
so.
Fury?
I think you wanted to bring them over.
So he like faked the whole thing, like Coulson's death in the Avengers. Wasn't never actually a bad guy.
Oh, I think he turned into a bad guy, but I think
I don't
he's
know.
the one that.
I don't know anything about Major Dad.
Sorry, General
But
Dad.
you know a lot
Morrison.
about like okay. What about Coach
Yeah?
Craig T. Nelson? Maybe he
Yeah.
could come in and be like,
What the hell are you doing?
I don't know. He's trying
Uncle
to,
Jesse?
He's trying to set up a yeah, but not Aunt Peggy. Harassing jail.
She's in prison. She's in the stockade.
Turns out she was the villain.
Yeah. She's the Thanos.
wearing that hair helmet.
Rob's just desperately trying something to relate this movie to.
Yeah, well, like because you got MacGyver around this time.
MacGruber?
You got Mr. Belvedere. He can make
Yeah, okay.
He can make a
So
really-
the A-Team, MacGyver, and
Prince.
Mr. Belvedere go on an adventure.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
from the Fresh Prince, the
Yeah.
butler.
Yeah, let's get cousin Larry Appleton and Balky Bartokovich.
If
all
they
at it.
bring in Mr. Belvedere as their Hulk,
Vision.
I'm in.
Yeah, Mr. Belvedere is the Hulk. Vicky from Small Wonder is Vision.
Don't make me sit on my balls. He wouldn't like me when I sit on my balls.
Oh, I got it. Gary Coleman can be Ant-Man.
Oh no! So terrible. What was it? I guess Sabrina the Scarlet Witch, maybe. Or I don't know.
The girl from Out of This World.
Oh yeah, there you go. And MacGyver would be like Iron Man, right? Like he
yeah.
builds. All right, I guess this movie though.
So
Yeah.
Can you
So-
tell we don't want to talk about it?
we have a lot
There's
to
nothing
go
to
through.
talk about. There's so much to go through, but there's nothing to talk about. That's the problem.
So yeah, okay. So you meet Lynch, who's like, if somebody took Conan O'Brien, shrank him down to regular proportions, and turned his dial down to like 2, it's this guy.
Sure. He's the Ocean Master.
Yeah, and he comes over. Yeah, he tells him about the plates. He's like Liam Neeson's like, yeah, I sure don't trust you, but I'm gonna go get those plates anyway.
I think it's just so confusing that they introduced those characters simultaneously. Like,
Well, it was
Yeah.
just.
doesn't they like show up at the exact same time?
I assumed
Yeah.
I don't
they
know
were
how
all
you're
together.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought they were partners at first, but
Yeah, then you get Pike, and now and then Black Forest, and you're like, all right, I guess you guys are bad. I don't know why, whatever. You know,
you got bad guy eyebrows.
yeah, you like to kill people, we don't. Whatever.
Yeah, let's take a quick moment. Those eyebrows, were those real?
Real or not real?
Yeah.
I could not tell.
I mean,
So
he had a lot of brow going on. I don't know.
yeah, Jessica Alba's like, they're giving me a paycheck. I gotta do something.
Jessica
I don't
Biel.
know. Or Jessica Biel. I'm sorry. So
Ooh,
Jessica
there's
Biel's
that.
like, all right, I gotta earn a paycheck. Follow the A-Team. They're doing something. So she has her goons follow them. They're in a tent for 3 hours, and it turns out they paid 4 guys $50 and a case of beer to be in a tent for 3 hours, and they went to a different tent to plan their mission.
Yep.
You're like, who cares? Why? And then the A-Team is like, all
I
right,
am curious, like, what if they had just stayed there and planned the mission right in front of them?
yeah,
What difference would that have made?
yeah. I mean, and then she could be like, what's that mission you're planning? And they'd be like, it's classified.
Yeah.
Done. She's like, I work for the Department of
Get out of
Defense.
my face,
Like, I
woman.
don't care. Like, and that's it. So now,
Worst case scenario, have Murdoch just throw himself on the table.
yeah,
Like, I'm crazy, whatever.
So where does the name A-Team come from?
Alpha Team.
Yeah, but I mean, like, within the context of the movie. Since they were never actually, like...
They say they were.
They do
They
call
do say
them.
at one point they're an Alpha Team.
Fine.
All right.
I don't care.
So now we get
Rob's hurt for not paying attention.
Burn, you just got burned.
we got
How could you pay attention?
yeah.
I try.
Well, now they're like, all right, here we go. We're gonna do this thing where we say all the things we need while showing the plan while we're doing it, and it's a sort of montage. It's a sort of this is what's going on, and here's how we're gonna steal the trailer. Get a powerful magnet so that fucking Bradley Cooper can get dragged by a truck,
Get his bottom half ripped off.
Out of the
Yeah.
sewer.
just so he could throw a goddamn spike trap. Like you could have done that any other way.
You just popped out of the manhole and hucked the stupid
You could have
caltrops.
stood on the street and.
Well, yeah, for that matter, couldn't you just have a little device that would release those that had a magnet on
Yeah.
it that you could just
Yeah.
attach to the
Any
bottom
of
of
those
this thing as it
things.
went by?
Any
Like,
of those things are valid.
but yeah, no, he does. He like from within the manhole, he clips onto this thing and just like somehow does not shatter his spine.
Well, he's got those like the sneakers with the wheels on the back.
Oh well.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wheelies?
Just, yeah.
Wheelies, yeah, he's got some
Which
wheelies.
is like the physics, though.
Yeah. All right. So
We've already established physics do not live in this movie.
this movie several times is like physics. Shut up. All right. So
Yeah, he is Wile E. Coyote, and you will just accept that shit. All right.
Yeah.
all right. So now they get. How do they get BA on top of it? I forget. He doesn't zip line. He gets.
Can they just
He
tell?
drives next to it and jumps on.
Oh,
it?
that's right. He rides a motorcycle onto it.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that how?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so he's on it. He beats up a bunch of people and takes over the convoy. Again, all these guys are like, hey, big man that can easily destroy me. I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to engage you in hand-to-hand combat.
Like you do.
Yeah. I learned it from watching Blade. So then, like, he gets control of the convoy. Hannibal zip lines down onto the thing. And then, like, you're like, where's Murdoch? Who knows? They do these thing where they get on the side, they cut all the things that are holding the cargo crate with the money and the plates onto the trailer. And then like they get BA into the trailer.
How?
What's a how?
How do they get him in the trailer?
They just open the hatch
They
and they're
just
like,
tell
get
him
in
to
here.
go
Just
in.
tell him to get in.
And then they close it real quick, and he's like, "Oh shit, we're going to be flying."
So the truck's just driving itself.
Yeah,
Then
at this point it is. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how it's just continuing forward in a straight path down this tunnel.
Yeah.
not
Like
slamming
I
into the side.
legit. Like I was
Yeah,
watching.
no, I don't
but I
know.
had no idea how BA got from the cab of the truck
Walk.
to inside the container.
yeah,
And they attach a bunch of airbags to this.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So now the truck jumps off the side of this chasm into, I guess, the Tigris River.
Yeah, the Iraqi Central Reservoir.
Yeah, and just like the truck sinks, but now the cargo crate's floating on the airbags, and then
I guarantee that would not.
the technical
Let's get 6 airbags.
yeah.
She can't go down, not with 6 barrels in her.
Yeah. So then the technical behind them that's been shooting at him with the machine gun gets like shredded by Murdoch, who is flying in a V-22 Osprey. And he like sends a rope down, they get the container and they fly away. That part of the scene, I'm like, cool. It's just the thing doing the thing it's meant to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Not face. BA is pissed because now he's flying, but whatever. All right, so now they land, they celebrate, they're like, oh, cool, we win. Yay.
Got it.
And the general's like, oh, you sons of bitches, I'm going to come over and celebrate with you with a whole case of booze. And
Unless my car explodes.
yeah.
Oh, my car don't
Oh,
explode.
my car exploded.
So did we ever find out who was actually in the car?
Nope.
Some private.
Yeah.
He told to drive over
Someone-
there.
he's like, private, take this bomb over to the A-team.
It was Coach. It was Craig T. Nelson's coach.
Ben Kingsley.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oscar
Bob Saget.
winner, Ben Kingsley.
This is Ben Kingsley. All right, I like
No,
Gandhi
you know what?
himself.
To keep with the continuity we set up, it was Mr. Cooper.
All right.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
All right, so anyway,
Uncle Phil.
the truck blows up, and like every vehicle in this movie, it blows up and flips over,
Yeah,
regardless of where the detonation comes from.
Yep.
And then like the container blows up, and it's like they're making it rain like $1 billion in cash.
Yeah, I guess all the money they printed was in there too.
Sure.
So were there explosives in the container the whole time?
I don't know if Black Forest maybe came and threw them in there and grabbed
There's
the
some
plates.
explosive
and-
hams.
yeah,
But actually, I think I might have solved the problem. All the cars in this movie, in theory at least, have airbags. Airbags that they put on this container. Airbags that might be made out of nitroglycerin.
Oh, is that a thing? They make
Well,
airbags
also-
from
Yes.
nitroglycerin, huh?
That's the only thing that makes sense to me because
As-
everything just fucking explodes.
as we see later in the movie, cargo containers are very explosive.
Oh, that's true. That is
Yeah,
true.
in this world,
very,
they're-
very fake looking.
yes, they're both very light and very explosive.
When they first
And
started
paper thin.
inventing airbags, they were using nitroglycerin, and just took a few times for them to realize, like, "Ooh, maybe this wasn't such a great idea."
The scenes where Gypsy Danger is fighting a monster with cargo containers is more realistic than any of the cargo container scenes in this film.
So now, like, the cops show up. Well, the military police show up, and they're like, "Okay, obviously the A-team did that."
Obviously. Because they're standing there looking dumbfounded.
Did Black Forest shoot some people too?
No, they just made
No,
German
yeah.
cake.
No, they shot.
Black Forest
No, they
came-
carjacked a car and killed 2 people, and threw their bodies out of the car and drove off. Like, I guess that didn't get admitted into court.
No.
Well, they're like the
Never
military didn't want to take
Yeah.
responsibility for hiring these fucking mercenaries.
Well, yeah, that was the other problem I had. When they go to court, he's like, well, what are you doing about Black Force? And like, they're not under military law or what? I'm like,
They sure are.
yeah, what the fuck?
Under some kind of law. Come on.
They're on your military base in a country that's not their own.
You're
Like,
paying them money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can just claim diplomatic immunity or some shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking
are.
about?
yeah, I'm pretty sure you could just kill them and be like, okay.
Yeah.
But so
Then you're in the
never mind
clear.
the fact they're just like, yo, 2 dead guys over there and tire tracks and car that was there is not like, obviously somebody took the plates and drove off. Like, we didn't just kill them and then stand there.
That's the big thing. Is like, you guys stole the plates. Where are they?
Yeah.
Stole 'em.
Wherever.
Yeah. They're stolen by you.
So the writer's like, check it out. You ever seen Face Off?
Yo, I got this.
So only one guy knows that operation was on the books, and that guy died. So yeah, obviously we can't trust anything they say. The guy
Or-
didn't write it down anywhere.
Or the large amount of evidence that supports in their favor.
Yeah. So they court-martial the A-team, and they dishonorably discharge them, and they just send them to different prisons. And you're like, good, movie over.
Yeah. Well,
Now
honestly,
the movie starts again.
Yeah.
honestly, I thought the movies were... Joe, you saw that, like, in the beginning of the movie where they have this whole scene, and then it's like they start this whole A-team, like, splash goes across the screen, and, like, there's credits and stuff. I thought the movie was over there. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, all right, we made it through. We did all right.
So again, here's another spot where you could have just started the movie.
Yep.
And that's the
It would have
thing.
been fine.
Here's where I had Rob do a time check because I'm like, this is essentially where the movie's starting. They're now officially, the disbanded
Disavowed.
team or disavowed. Yeah, and like now we're gonna get into A-team stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it was, I think, like, was it the 35 minutes or so?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. So
Like, you can't start your movie 35 minutes into your movie.
It was 2 episodes of the A-Team into the movie.
So Hannibal's in prison. He gets a visit from CIA Lynch, and it's like, yo, I need you to escape and go get me those plates. And Hannibal's like, okay, I need to get the rest of my team, and I need you to get me the cigar that's only going to make it look like I'm dead, because I know the guy in the crematorium of this prison. I know that he is the worst.
He doesn't check the bodies.
So he's going to be the linchpin of my entire plan. And the plan is he smokes a cigarette that was smuggled into him inside a book. And he then looks like he dies. And then they're like, fuck it. All right, just cremate him right there.
Yep.
And then the fucking Friar Tuck from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Men in Tights is closer, I think, but
Oh wait, what's the Men in Tights one?
no, I'm just joking because he sucks.
No, yeah, Men in Tights. It was Mel Brooks. No, this is the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway? But anyway, so regardless, that dude, he's just like, all right, I'm just gonna cremate Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's like, all right, I'm just gonna kung fu fight the incinerator
Yeah.
and get out somehow.
You just wake up with giant flames coming in my face and just kick them out of the way, and I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, you know. It's
Um,
just pressurized heat being forced into my body, and
Yeah.
it's fine.
You know, and very, very solid metal doors meant to contain very high temperatures.
Yeah, that
Good.
would also be very hot.
Yeah. So he gets out, and this guy just faints, and then Liam Neeson takes his lab coat and walks out. So now we cut to Face,
Yes.
and Face is in his prison. He's turning it into a resort, and everyone's letting him
He's
for
knocked
reasons.
down 3
He's like banging.
walls
He's
already?
like banging the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a female guard that apparently he's sleeping with or something.
Yeah.
And
Why not?
I mean, I'd sleep with Bradley Cooper.
He's in.
Yeah.
He's
wouldn't?
installed a couple of tanning beds and
Yeah.
shit. Like what?
He's got Dirk Benedict on retainer.
yeah.
I hope for Dirk Benedict's sake, it was just like he was just somewhere at a tanning bed, and they just like shot a scene when he got out.
We're not gonna pay you, but you can use the tanning bed for the rest of the day.
Now get the fuck out.
So he gets in a tanning bed and then gets kidnapped. And then when he's let out of the tanning bed, he's
burned to death.
Yeah, he's burned to death, like Final Destination.
Yeah.
No, he what should we call it? Like he's on the coast somewhere, and he's there with Hannibal, who immediately tries to kill because he's like, I was very happy in prison. So then they're like, okay, we got to get these plates, whatever. Let's go get BA. So now here's where the writers were like, I don't know.
Whatever.
Whatever. Like,
So BA's on a prison bus. He's first of all, he's wearing, if we have any Flight of the Conchords fans, Brett is making a hair helmet. It's a bike helmet that looks like his hair.
The funny thing, all I could think was like, if this was that one episode in the first season of Luke Cage where they show
yeah.
him break out.
Yeah.
He's got the disco hair and everything. Like that's what he looks like.
Yeah, but this is like,
Wasn't he wearing a yellow shirt too?
he was wearing prison.
he was wearing a yellow shirt earlier when they meet Black Forest.
No.
But so he's on this prison bus wearing this ridiculous wig, and he sees off to his sides cars on either side of the bus with license plates that say emergency exit now. And he immediately just goes, "Oh, it's Hannibal. I gotta just jump out of this."
That's how Hannibal always picks him up.
Yeah. Why not? So he makes a break for the back of the bus and just takes the whole door out with him.
Yeah, and the bed of the pickup truck, which is now turned 180 degrees, like rises up, and Hannibal's there with what appears to be a rocket launcher. Is actually a grappling hook.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, do you think for the past 6 years he's been like, Mickey won and fuck it, it's Hannibal. I don't know what this means, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus,
It's not his first time crashing through that door.
And you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that would explain why the guard in the bus was like, "Oh, BA, don't do this. Don't."
Come on, VA.
It had a very, not this again, don't do it.
They've lost so many emergency exit doors.
My other vehicle is a Millennium Falcon. Oh shit, it's Hannibal. I gotta go.
Mercury's in retrograde.
So
I
yes.
better get out.
So now a movie's just like, guys, just give it to us. So he fucking
Ain't his turd.
what's that?
Ain't his turd.
Yeah. Fetus turd.
Ain't his turd. Arrested Development.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
got a new start on his license plate. It's Hannibal. We gotta go.
All right. So,
Got a stew going.
and this looks as stupid as it sounds. He just jumps on the emergency exit as the truck rips it off the back of the bus and rides it like a sled.
Yep.
Yeah.
While the guard is firing a shotgun at him.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
Sure.
do about my legs?
Like you're just like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I
fine.
mean,
And then they go to a diner.
yep, probably 3 miles away.
Yeah.
And they buy BA a hair trimmer. I mean, which I understand
They
because
probably bought on the way there.
if I showed up wearing that wig,
Yeah.
I'd want you guys to give me a hair trimmer too. But
It's $5. Go tell the barber to stop looking like an asshole.
Yeah.
But no, he is. While he was in prison, he's been reading, so he's learned to be a more peaceful person, and decided that he's going to be nonviolent from now on.
He can no longer
So
kill.
that also means no more mohawk.
For some reason.
Well, he said that the Mohawk only was born out of his upbringing where everybody was like, oh, you're a badass because he used to run with a rough crowd or
No.
whatever.
It's all right. I saw Gremlins. I know Mohawk
Yeah.
means bad, so
Okay.
it's just how it works.
Don't feed him after midnight. Don't get him wet.
Don't fly him in a plane.
Don't
So-
fly him.
Now the movie's like, all right, we've questioned your intelligence. Now
Numerous times.
Let's just see your raw ability to endure annoyance.
God, this part sucked.
Yeah,
This is when I was on my phone. I'm
Yeah.
just like, fuck this.
Let's just like your ability to absorb stress. We're taking it to the limit now. This is their plan to get Murdoch out of the insane asylum that he's in right now
In Germany?
In Germany.
in Germany, in Frankfurt, Germany. On
Where
a-
they're just electrocuting him every day.
Yeah, and he likes it.
To the highest power.
Yeah. 211.
It's like Dr. Mingala's psych ward.
So yeah, they send him a package that has a bunch of 3D glasses and a movie, The Great Escape.
The Greater Escape.
Greater Escape. Yeah, I'm sorry. And
Fuck you.
because fuck you. And now, for no reason, he's like, okay, what I need to do is get everyone whipped up into a frenzy and just shout the word movie 100 times. I mean, and here's where we get like a line that sums the movie up.
Yeah.
Everyone wanna?
So, two, I guess they're orderlies,
Yeah.
are watching this just absolute fracas take place. And one of them looks to the other and says, we need him to watch this movie. Because, boy, could I use about 2 hours of not this.
And I can't describe to you what they're doing, but it's basically just the visual version of like you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world.
Yeah.
With like probably the second most annoying sound in the world playing over it for much longer than the Dumb and Dumber scene.
By the way, Joe, that cylinder of cream you just put in your mouth has left quite a stain on your face.
As it should.
Anyway, so these there's no word to describe them that's not like offensive. So these people are just
Well,
in this room.
I believe while watching this, I described it pretty well with it's like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
That's
But yeah, they're
fair assessment.
they're all clucking and making weird noises and whatever.
Fighting fake battles.
Yeah, and being knighted so they can wear these 3D glasses, which we need to see. By the way, that's a scene we
Yeah.
need to
This
see.
scene is so long, or at
And
least
it's-
it feels long.
So
Yeah.
we
and
can watch.
so
I could
long.
honestly say it feels like the director is channeling Michael Bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could totally, because it's like, hey, act, mentally challenged, and then, but he doesn't use that word,
Yeah.
that phrase,
I'm
and
sure.
then they're just like, they're just drooling over each other. It's just awful. It's just
Also,
an awful scene.
Just for fun, while we're watching The Greater Escape, the theme song to it is the theme song to the A-Team.
It's
'Cause
sort of-
fuck you.
and-
And it's like the 5th time they played
Yeah.
in this movie.
yeah,
And now, Jessica Biel's character shows up because they're like, oh, they're going to take Murdoch now. So, like,
So now he's playing extra dumb.
yeah. For a reason. He could just be like, I don't know, like, I'm here. They haven't taken me yet. Whatever.
Yeah, they're shocking me. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
it's movie night.
I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
Go.
Jacking off here in the
Yeah,
corner.
yeah.
And the plan
Just jacking it.
is, the escape plan
That's what
is...
it should have gone like Silence of the Lambs. Like Jessica Biel comes in, he just
She just walks out. That'll get rid of her.
Yeah.
Good job, Minkus.
Yeah. So fucking...
sorry.
I mean, Charlotte Copley, you wouldn't have to tell him much to get him to do that.
Probably not.
It'd be funny if you had the Hannibal mask
Yeah.
on.
She starts turning into a prawn.
Yeah. I did not have sex with that creature. Okay, anyway. So the escape plan is essentially One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But crap, like instead of just throwing a water fountain through the window, they just drive a goddamn truck through the wall.
Well,
What?
again, perfectly timed for when the truck
Yeah.
is coming at the screen. So how they manage that, I don't know.
Probably-
and
I
apparently
mean,
that's why
that's
they
BA's
needed
special
3D
power.
glasses.
Yeah.
But is it BA's special power? Because every time he's done that, Hannibal is in the car with him.
Well, baby, he needs Hannibal.
So Hannibal's
way,
like
yeah.
the master planner.
Yeah.
So he probably planned all that.
Were
out.
we worried that if they didn't have the 3D glasses, this wouldn't work? Like, are they actually Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote? Did they need to like paint the wall?
I'm gonna
the
go
tunnel
ahead
in
and
the wall?
say yes.
Fuck.
All right, so they
Based
grab
on
Murdoch,
nothing.
drive off. And then you're like, how could this get any worse? And movie's like, hold my beer. So,
That is perfect.
yeah.
Hold my store brand
Energy drink.
Meister brow.
Yeah.
No, hold my natty ice.
So they go and they commandeer themselves a C-130 transport plane. Valid, fine. They're flying away on that. But, you know, this plan has some flaws, like it's an airbase. There are craft that could, you know, engage the thing. And I like how the airbase is just like, that's government property, blow it out of the sky. Like, why? But sure. Like,
Well, I mean,
also-
they can't engage it because as they were exiting,
Yeah.
they destroyed the cockpits of every single other
Yeah.
fighter jet that was on the landing strip.
which were all just neatly lined up so
Just
that
lined up.
one C-130 could do that.
Yeah. And perfectly destroy them without doing any damage to the propellers or causing it to have trouble lifting
Yeah.
off. Cause,
Every fighter on the in
Yeah.
the airbase.
yeah.
So then they send these drones after them. And, you know, the scene starts off innocent enough. They fire some heat seekers. They deploy the emergency flares as, you know, that's all valid stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Do you usually shoot off that many?
Yeah. You have to shoot off a lot to confuse the missile.
Yeah, I knew you'd have to do a bunch, but like,
Yeah. That's why you only really get like one of those. And then.
That's
like,
why I was like, should they be using that many? Because I figured they wouldn't have too many shots at it. But anyway,
So then, yeah, then like they do some other stupid thing to like make two missiles explode in front of them. Basically the equivalent of like slamming on the brakes in Hot Shots. And then they're like, all right, well, we can't get these last missiles. So everyone get in the tank that this plane is hauling. And yeah, here we goes to the part that I was dreading the most.
And how did you find it?
Yeah, it was awful.
yeah. So the plane gets blown up because just screw everything.
Yeah, the missiles could blow the plane up. That's fine.
Well, yeah. I mean, why they would
Yeah.
the military would want to blow up their own plane?
Yeah,
Like
whatever.
you said. But so now this tank is dropping out of the air with these 3 parachutes. Mm-hmm. It's designed to, you know, drop this tank apparently.
Yeah, that's not
So
a
that's
thing,
fine.
but it's a thing in this movie.
Sure, why not?
They can drop one from very low altitude. That's like they could drop a very specific light tank. That's not this tank.
Okay, didn't know that part, but
Yeah.
all right.
So, are we to believe that the A team attached these parachutes to this tank, perhaps?
I think that was like already set up.
I think the movie was saying that it's possible, and you know what? Fine. I'm okay with there's a parachute deployable tank. That's
But
okay.
the problem comes in when these drones come back and they start shooting at them again because they just know this tank means that they survived. They just assume they're in it, which
Yeah.
they're right.
Well,
So-
Bradley Cooper pops out the top of it, so yeah.
Well,
I mean,
that's because the drones start taking shots at him, and he's like, "Let's take shots back."
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just gonna go up for some air. Pops out the top, starts firing wildly.
he turns
on the
into
top
he
gun.
turns into
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon.
He sure does.
And the drones are just firing machine guns at a tank.
Yeah.
Sure.
And basically, all any of this is accomplishing is to utterly destroy these parachutes.
Yeah.
So now there's just one left, and the tank is dropping at
In
a
a free
tremendous rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they decide, oh, you know how we're going to handle this? Let's start firing the main gun of this tank.
Few things.
Go for it.
One, even though you may have had seatbelts, Murdoch and Face did not. How were they moving around a free-falling tank?
Well, as I mentioned, as soon as that tank started firing, Face's face would have been removed by that the targeting reticle that he was
Well, I mean,
staring into.
the target, that's separate from the gun, so that's not, like, you're supposed to be looking through that when you're shooting it, so that
Well-
part's okay.
In a normal circumstance, yes, but if we're assuming this is sending the whole tank flying to the left or the
Backwards,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
that
would
like
fair
the
enough.
force
Yeah,
would have
exactly.
especially when it hit the water.
However, I can resolve both of these by
Yeah.
reminding you physics don't mean shit in this movie.
That gun is gyro-stabilized to contain its recoil and such that firing it should probably not really move the tank at all.
Fuck you, movie.
Yeah. Also, who's loading the gun? How are the shells getting in there? Maybe the tank has an autoloader. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Where are the shells that are the cannon's ejecting going? Who knows? These are all minor problems, though, compared to how this scene concludes, where we see a nice German couple. You know, grandma
Are they,
German
though?
lady is.
They're probably war criminals that are hiding.
Okay.
All right.
This couple that Will has written off as former Nazi war criminals.
I would argue with him. However, I will say in his defense, that old man was just chucking dynamite into the lake. I don't know what the fuck that was
Crocodile
about.
Dundee too. He's like, this is a good idea.
Worked in the war, it'll work now.
If he takes his life lessons from Crocodile Dundee too, then yeah,
Or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
Yeah.
By the
He's
way,
like, fuck it. I'm like 5 years away from dying. What do I care about, leaving this world for everyone else? Throw dynamite in a lake.
quick note here, just because this is the one that was that added little kick to my side, at least.
Yeah.
Was the fact that we have to straight up say when they're firing the turret of this tank,
Things.
they're like, "Oh, are they trying to take out that last drone?" To which
I forgot
Jessica
about
Biel says, "No, they're trying to fly the tank."
Yep.
Which I was
Thanks
just
a
like,
lot.
"Yeah, fuck you, all the way to hell."
And they somehow shot the drone down with the tank cannon.
They did.
As an added fuck you. Because, that's going to work. So anyway.
All right, then the credits roll and we can go
Yeah.
home.
So now, all right, crazy German grandpa, war criminal, dynamite fisherman. It's just floating in a boat, casually tossing dynamite around. And then a goddamn main battle tank falls from the sky and just obliterates him.
Yep.
And Grandma's like, good. She just has a little chuckle.
Yeah, she smiles and laughs.
And dies
Yeah.
right there.
Okay.
Joy.
Even if the tank is sturdy enough to survive that impact, even if the turret is still somehow able to remain attached to the tank from that impact, okay, I guarantee you it's not driving out of that lake. Yeah.
They can't do that?
No, I mean, they can if they button everything up and, deploy the snorkel and all that, but you kind of have to do beforehand. Maybe they did. I don't know. I guarantee you, no one inside that tank is surviving that impact.
Nope.
Yeah, and they just casually drive out like, tee-hee.
Wasn't that a fun lark?
Yeah,
I enjoyed that sudden and dramatic change in pressure. How about you?
yeah. So, a common tactic...
Seatbelts. Who needs that shit?
They just pop out. Their eyes and ears are all bleeding.
So, a common
No.
tactic to defeat a tank is called spalling, where you don't have to penetrate the armor, you just have to cause enough impact to cause something inside the tank to dislodge and fly about and kill the crew. So there's no way, the tank is the impact of it hitting the water. Something's going somewhere. The two people that are standing up are just slamming into the front of the vehicle. They're done. They're just dead. I'm sorry. Go, Tony. You look like you wanted to say something.
Just as we were talking about with the dogs and such before, if they had come out all fused together at this
Yep.
point, I would accept that.
Also, neither the fuel or the ammunition manages to detonate somehow. Whatever. All right, I'm done trying to pick holes in it. It's awful.
It is awful.
Now, mind you, you have a tank. You could do all kinds of cool things in a movie with a tank. They could have driven the tank away to escape. They could have had some cool GoldenEye-esque tank chase scene. You could get a cool scene of them doing things inside it. This is like when a dinosaur comes on the screen for Rob. I want to see the tank do something cool, and instead,
So what did they do with it, Joe?
instead they shoved it up my ass, and
Just flew it
Drew
around
it
in
first.
yeah, they dropped it at very high velocity into my ass.
there. Now, they needed to save that CGI money for the tanker truck or the tanker boat.
Yeah.
Ship. Container ship.
God, we're still so far away from that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like
And mind you, nothing in this scene looked real either.
no.
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 Okay.
I think they would have been better off using all of this money and just do it like a stage show. Stunt spectacular.
A one-man show of the A-Team.
Yes.
I just wrote in my notes unacceptable.
All right.
Did you read it all in caps like lemongrass?
So what happens next?
So now the plot becomes a muddled mess.
The plot congeals.
At least at this point, the plot was just, hey, we got to get out of prison and reunite the team. Now we're back to I don't fucking know.
Well, now we need to find the plates.
The plates, yep.
And we need to get the black flag. What?
Black
Black
Forest.
Forest ham.
Black Forest ham.
No,
We have to get that guy so we can expose him and clear our names and save us all.
Yeah. All right. So
These so much movie.
there's Arab guys and the dude from Black Forest Pike are they're all like at the Königsbank in Germany. So they're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fire a grenade launcher at. Well, I'm gonna have BA fire a grenade launcher at the window because he's like a window cleaner on the building across the street. At the same time, when Hannibal comes crashing through the window and throws a bunch of like stun grenades down, and they just grab the Arab guy that has the plates like tied to his wrist or handcuffed to his wrist.
They grab him.
Yeah.
They put a parachute on him
Yep.
and a hood. Mm-hmm. They throw him out the window.
Yep.
Where he starts falling drastically
Yep.
towards the helicopter and its blades, which then does some swoop maneuver and just snags him
Yeah.
Swoopty
Yeah.
swoop.
Yeah.
like it was a claw machine.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I mean, he makes the claw machine joke, but like,
Oh, yeah, he made that earlier. I think.
oh yeah, oh I'm sorry, yeah, that was with the Osprey, but yeah,
He would have chopped that guy up.
Freaking Launchpad McQuack over here.
Like this, the closest I could think to this was in True Lies when when the guy gets caught on the missile and gets fired through
Yeah.
at the other helicopter. But that was more entertaining.
that had
and
some
more
sort of
realistic.
emotional payoff to it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
but
what.
yet, like he just gets snagged by a helicopter and he's gone.
Yeah,
So here we yeah. So the Pike is in the building too, and he starts firing down.
He's
at
Black Forest Ham guy.
Yeah, Black Forest Ham starts firing at Hannibal,
Yeah.
and they're all rappelling down the side of the building. They're all trying to get down there. Then BA comes over and he's like, "I'm gonna."
Well, Hannibal says, "BA, take care of this." For reasons I don't know.
Yes, so Hannibal just ditches. BA tries rappelling down after the briefcase, which has the plates in it. And Pike is going after him. He's shooting at him and all this other stuff. So he makes BA fall. He shoots his
Suitcase out
His
of his
rigging.
hand.
yeah, the rigging for his thing. So he starts falling.
And Pike just happens to have a harness. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
He starts repelling the building.
Hooks
Like,
onto his
he
eyebrows.
takes the one that was, I think that Hannibal used before,
did he?
maybe.
Nah.
He hooks it onto his eyebrows and
Yeah.
just repels down.
Maybe
That's about right.
Pike's like, son of a bitch, that's how I was going to leave.
So they end up in the parking garage, and Pike shoots BA in the back, and he's like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm going to kill you, whatever. But he doesn't. And then Hannibal has a car somehow and
I'm
just
nonviolent.
runs
I don't
over
remember.
Yeah.
Pike, and then they escape.
So Pike decides to chase them by just shooting a gun through every glass door
Yeah.
and window on between them, like taking the most direct route.
Yeah, I did. Did he forget how doors work?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a covert agent in the middle of Germany. Let's just fire at everything.
Yeah, and then he just runs into the middle of an intersection, Martin Lawrence style, and gets with a gun, and he gets arrested by the cops. And
Jesus.
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, he gets arrested by Jessica Biel's character. So now they go to this warehouse, and they got the Arab guy, and Hannibal's just like, oh, okay, I know who it is. I figured it out. And they're like, well, who is it? And he's like, it's General Morrison. Dun, dun, dun.
No, he's like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Meanwhile, the audience is like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were
Just-
standing there
just-
just going,
just-
it's General Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's General Dad.
He's like the only character we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
It's him or the Mandarin. Just take off the
Yeah.
hood.
So, all right.
Also, quick side note, if
okay.
I can. Just at this point, my notes say Commando Nanny because we got distracted and started looking up some of the other things these actors have been in. To which we found Commando Nanny.
Found it.
Apparently, a movie that's out there.
It's a show.
Oh, it's a show. Okay.
Two fairly funny interactions happen close to this scene. I believe when they caught the Arab guy with the helicopter, either myself or Eric, one of us yelled how, one of us yelled why, like just at the same time. And then during this scene, Becca is fast asleep next on the right of me. Eric's on the left. Becca wakes up for a second. She's like, "Can you tell me what's happening in this movie?" And both of us went, "No."
No way.
So,
Not even if I wanted to, Becca.
You said fairly funny interactions. I thought you were going to say something funny that happened in the movie. I
No.
was like, oh, yeah,
Like, what did I
happened?
miss?
Yeah.
Well, we do try some humor here,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Because Ed Warren, the
Nobody
CIA
gets it.
I know. That's fine. The CIA guy, whatever.
Ocean Master. Orm.
Lynch.
Orm the Ocean
Thank you.
Master.
I can never remember the real names. That's the big problem.
Patrick Wilson, is that right?
Yes. But like, he's got Pike in the back of his car, and his cohorts or whatever are trying to threaten him. So the dude tries to put a suppressor on his gun, and he's putting the gun between his legs and aiming it at his face. And I totally, for a second there, was like, is this going to end like Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, there's some
Like,
weird.
this is the dumbest shit ever. And the other one's like answering the phone. And he's got the gun up to one side of his head. and-
phone or the gun? You got to pick one.
yeah, I'm just like, did they just all get dumber somehow?
It was this like Mickey Mouse outfit.
I mean,
like,
it's about as funny as the movie gets.
yeah.
yeah.
It is
Out
but
of
it's also-
nowhere.
yeah, we didn't really have
It
any
is
of
weird,
this
yeah.
before. I don't know. I think Jessica Biel's little companions are slowly getting smarter, and these guys are getting
Yeah.
dumber. I don't know. It's weird.
So,
All right.
now there's like way more drama than you would ever see in an A-Team episode when they reveal General Lynch here, or not General Lynch,
Morrison.
General Morrison.
General Zod.
Yeah, is like
Back from the Phantom Zone.
one of the bad guys. You don't exactly know how he relates to everybody else. You don't exactly care. And they're all like arguing and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't care. Just like he's like, just kill me. They're like, no, and then fucking this. They call Lynch, and Lynch is like, all right, yeah, I got a recovery team on the way. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. And so all of the A-Team goes outside, and then they have that scene of like, they're all questioning Hannibal, and they're like, hey, Hannibal, if you had to burn us, would you? And he's like, I would never burn any of you. Don't even question it. And then the AC-130 gunship flies by and is like, I will burn all of you. And again, this is another one of those things where like what this ship, like what that plane can do and what it does in the movie are two very different things. Like that is just a plane that carries nothing but guns and ammo and can circle one target for a very long time, firing a very large amount of ordnance into it. And it just comes by and goes like, and like blows the building up with like one shot and flies away. That's it. It doesn't kill any of the AT members.
To be fair, in this case, I side with the movie because if we had spent more time watching it, fly in circles to get the
Yeah.
same thing accomplished, I might have shot myself.
Well, I mean, if we did that instead of the damn cargo ship. By the way.
I will give you that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But either way, Major Dad is toast at this point, for real this time.
He's Major
Which-
Chitstain.
This also kind of bugged me because that was the only evidence we had to prove our innocence and whatever. And I'm like, even if that's true, like, can't you just be like, hey, look, you can investigate this body. It's clearly General Dad. You said he died 6 years ago and you blamed us for it. Something's clearly up. Can we look into this? This should at least bring doubt to your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and that body, I mean, it's probably quite fragged, but it's probably still identifiable with DNA.
yeah. DNA.
Grab one of those long ass beard hairs
Yeah.
he had.
They could have just taken photos.
Yeah.
With their phones that they all had. Like,
That's I was thinking
2010,
that.
just take a picture.
Speaking of phones, there's one kind of important plot point where basically at this point, Face went off to go find Jessica Biel. He kidnapped her in a photo booth. I did like the touch of showing the snapshots of the two of them fighting in the photo booth.
Yeah.
He handcuffs her to the rail, and he tells her, you got to trust him, and basically put a phone on her. And then whatchamacallit, that'll come up later, where they gain her trust by She has...
They call
what's
her
that?
and they get her in on the
Yeah,
whole thing.
exactly. So around
Although
this
he
point...
gets away here he walks out, he fires a gun into the ground and starts yelling at some other guy.
Yeah.
And everybody is just like freaking the hell out, and no one, like there's people standing right next to him that are like, that other guy has a gun. Like, he fired a gun like 2 feet
in fairness,
from you.
if someone fires a gun that close to me, I'm not concerned about that guy's prosecution. I'm concerned about getting out of there.
Oh yeah, but it's just the fact that no one seems to
Yeah.
be like, oh, it's not like there's guns going off. It's we need to get away from that guy he pointed at.
Yeah.
Because they let him just casually walk away.
Yep.
I mean, he's handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Handsome. So
And he
whatever.
donned
I
a
don't
pair
care how handsome he is. I'd be running the fuck away from him.
Well, he put glasses
he
on,
put
so
on a
he-
Clark Kent glasses and
well, that's
yeah.
yeah.
And he was
He's someone
hideous.
else entirely. So now they basically it somehow comes up around here where essentially Jessica Alba discovers that Lynch is just fucking with them. Calls her, gives her like the wrong information, then like face calls her and is like, "Here's the real deal. Now you trust us." So then they do this trick where they because he knows that Lynch is listening to her phones.
Yeah.
So like they set him up where they get him to like they think that there's going to be a bargain for the freedom of the A-team. They're going to give him General Morrison and the plates at a dock, on this cargo ship. So Lynch thinks that they don't know that he's going to come in there and intercept it, but they do, and it's going to be a whole setup. So now we move to the climax of this movie.
Thank God.
Yeah. We go to L.A., we get in a flying boat. B.A. redons his mohawk, decides he can kill again, because, sometimes you just got to do it.
Mofo's gotta die.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta kill a bitch.
Because he was like, well, Gandhi said don't kill or whatever, and then Hannibal was like, yeah, well, he also said don't be a bitch.
Yeah. So their plan basically is like, they're like, Lynch is not experienced when, shit goes down. They're going to distract him with a bunch of stuff, not get him to pay attention to the old switcheroo. And that's also going to cause Pike to make his move. They'll flush Pike out, take him out. And then their ultimate plan is to get Lynch to do something stupid that exposes him as the one who is responsible for all these crimes.
Yeah, the big thing is Lynch usually stays well clear of everything that's actually happening and doesn't get his hands dirty. And this is all designed to make him have to actually do something himself so he can get caught doing it.
So their plan is to play essentially a game of Monty with some cargo containers.
Yeah. It's dumb.
Yeah. And then there's a whole bunch of like assault teams that are supposed to storm the ship, which BA uses 2 remote control SUVs to make these gas trails that basically create walls of fire that take out the assault teams.
Straight up kills him.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people.
Blows him right up.
So Pike now is like, all right, enough of this tomfoolery. I'm just going to take my shoulder-fired missile launcher. Granted, those are pretty badass weapons. And he fires it at the side of the cargo ship, and all hell breaks loose.
He cuts through this whole tanker ship like he was firing a laser beam.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there are missiles that can do that to those ships, but they are carried by aircraft or fired from huge silos. Like, they're not... It's not a shoulder-mounted thing. I'll give you it'll punch through the hull, and it could possibly even sink the ship.
This thing fired as though it was
Yeah.
that gun from the Avengers that was based off of, what was the Guardian or whatever from Thor? Remember the one Coulson threatens Loki
Yeah.
with?
Oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like that. It just cuts through the whole ship.
Well, yeah,
So-
it penetrated. It exited out the other side.
Yeah.
At this point, I asked Brick, I'm like, why is the ship still exploding? And he said, Michael Bay's on board.
Michael Bay's taking a dump in the
Yeah.
in the brig.
So,
The reactor core.
yeah. Basically, like, Pike then goes through his whole convoluted fight with Face, where we're running on cranes, we're doing all this stuff. And BA's like, enough of this. I'm going to ride my motorcycle off of a sweet jump, hit you with a vintage A-Team flying tackle, filmed from below, and then he tackles him to the ground, which is, that's cool. That's A-Team.
And that proves Joe's theory, because that's
Who's that?
B.A. Baracus by himself coming in on a vehicle at the last possible moment.
Yeah.
Just when he's needed.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
He then follows it up with a standing burning hammer that immediately just murders Pike.
He
sure
kills this dude.
Breaks his neck.
Drives his head right into the ground.
That was terrible.
I learned from my time in prison that I shouldn't be violent, but when I'm gonna be violent, be as brutal with it as
Yeah.
humanly possible.
Now,
One hit, one kill.
Joe liked seeing that, but that's not the A-Team. That's not how the A-Team does the flying tackle, and then you go to jail. The A-Team doesn't.
Send you to hell.
This ain't your mama's A-Team.
Yeah, just plant your head into
See you
the
in
ground.
hell.
He might as well have just done a Ghost Rider and just
Yeah.
pile drove him straight down to the center. Of the
And pissed fire on him.
Yeah,
He-
it's
I
fine.
mean, he essentially used him as a shovel and just drove him into the ground. All right, so then Lynch goes after
Hannibal.
friggin' Hannibal and Morrison. Morrison still has the bag on his head. He gets Hannibal, beats him up. He's like, my Muay Thai's on point. You know, you're a wuss. He's like, is this the general you're trying to protect? Bam, shoot him in the head. Dunzo. And then Hannibal's just like, yo, I'm Liam Neeson. It just punches this dude.
And you are decidedly not.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically if Liam Neeson fought Conan O'Brien. It just he just punches this guy for like 10 minutes. It's like I'm thinking kind of that beating that you wanted Sam Neill to lay on that kid in Jurassic Park right in the beginning.
No, I did not want that. I wanted Sam Neill to slap him.
Well, yeah, except instead of
A lot.
slaps, it's just like
Jiu-jitsu.
punches to the face. And then, Lynch pulls out his gun and he's like, all right, no, I did all this shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm the villain. I'm going to kill you. And then the whole cargo container lifts away. And surprise, surprise, everyone's watching. And Lynch is like, damn.
Which, just side note here, General Dad, whatever, Hicks?
What?
What's his
Morrison.
name? Morrison. All right. I cannot remember. Like they fake having
naming as
him
many
there
areas.
Hicks
Yeah.
Morrison.
by having Murdoch, right?
Yep, wearing a helmet.
He wears this helmet he made so he could get shot in the head. They covered it in ketchup packets so it would look like he would
Yep.
bleed. I'm still not even sure exactly how that one worked. And they used little sound chips from baby dolls to fake the voice of the general?
Yep.
Why? So much of that is unneeded.
How do you fly a tank?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like
complicated as possible.
It should just be like hey, we have a person-shaped person here.
Yeah.
We put a metal helmet on his head so he won't get shot in the face. Done!
Yeah.
What? It's just so crazy.
Okay, so now, like, the sun has come up. The boat is blown in half. Like, straight up blown in half.
There's tankers
Cargo
all over the
destroyed.
place.
Yeah.
It looks like Gypsy Danger has been through.
I mean, this thing is like the size of an aircraft carrier, and it's blown in half by that one missile. Okay. So the CIA shows up, and they're like, yo, we're going to take Lynch. And then they're like, oh, well, that sucks. And then they're like, yeah, don't worry. Like, I'm Lynch now. That guy, he's going to get liquidated.
John Hamm.
John Hamm, yeah.
And he had his little neuralizer.
I'm a new Lynch now.
So yeah, then this other character who I guess is Jessica Biel's character, boss. He's like, yeah, we're still going to arrest the A-Team. You know, they weren't authorized to do this. Also,
It's like you're clear of what we accused you of, but it's still illegal to break out of prison.
Yeah.
So you're
And
going
you,
back.
You
Still
just
done
killed
that.
a lot of people and just destroyed an entire container ship. So then,
And an Abrams tank. And...
yeah.
You
as
still have a lot
they're-
of crimes.
That
to
German
fix.
war.
No, that drove away. That they probably just abandoned somewhere.
okay.
That's fine.
Several
That
aircraft.
German war criminal.
Yeah. So
You killed him.
Nah,
Yeah.
forget the old man.
now
Shave some time off for that.
you get the obligatory Face and Jessica Biel kiss, which at least had a reason,
Yeah.
because now Face has the key to the cuffs.
Yeah.
They break out, and now, you know, if you're in trouble or whatever, you can hire the A-Team. And instead of that fucking dun, 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 dun,
The
you get
perfect
some-
opportunity to
Yeah.
play the theme. Fuck
perfect
you, audience.
You get some stupid butt metal. Then, like, it does at towards the end of the credits play the original A-Team theme, but not before like a Little John-esque yeah gets thrown in there for the transition. I don't know.
Why not?
There's no stinger at the end.
Because
it didn't deserve one.
2010.
No.
That's the A-Team from 2010.
All right, so on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 48%. Audience gave this a score of 65%.
Audiences, y'all are dumb.
They sure are. But, so, I mean, that's not what I mean. That's their thoughts and opinions. What about your thoughts / opinions / recommendations on this one, Will?
Fuck this movie. Don't watch it. I don't even know what to rank it. If you're in the mood, like we discussed earlier, like other action movies that are, groups of ragtag people, you can even watch ones that are bad also, but like more enjoyable to watch. Like the most recent Predator, I think, is like that, and it's like a fun bad watch. So yeah, like, and if you're really in the A-Team mood, just watch some like 4 episodes of the A-Team is this movie, So yeah. Don't recommend. Don't really think it was good at all.
All right, I'm gonna quick jump in here to also say, because fuck this movie. That was my immediate thought towards the end. This actually, like, it kind of hurt me a little to watch this. It was insulting to my intelligence. It was so much of it was dull and boring, and then when they had the action scenes, they were just so incredibly stupid, but not enough to be as fun as I was hoping. So I can't even really recommend it like a bad or a good bad movie. It was just stupid. So yeah, no, do not watch this movie. No. Joe.
All right. So right after I was done watching this, it harkened back to a conversation we had a while back. I can't remember which episode, but I posed the question of, would you rather watch a bad movie done well or a good movie done poorly? And this is a classic case of where I thought I was hoping I was going to get a bad movie done well, but I actually got more of a good movie done poorly. Because the fundamental parts of this film, I don't think are bad. And I think this was very savable and could have just, it needed a different director. And like some of the fat needed to be trimmed, but like, and they needed to spend a little less time on the screaming, a little more time on explaining what the hell's going on.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you take out the tank scene, you take out the stupid shit, basically anytime they're in a vehicle. And, you keep the core of those 4 characters, which has worked before. And I think this could have been okay. That's why I feel it hurts more when you get a good movie that's done bad than when you get a bad movie that's done well. Ultimately, I can't recommend this. It's too goddamn stupid. It reeks of all the things that were terrible in 2000 cinema with none of the things that were good. There's not a lot of bright spots to be had in this movie. And there's a lot of scenes where it was like, this could have been okay. You just took it like 2 steps too far. Step off the gas a little bit and, let the characters make the movie good. You don't have to throw in all this other bullshit.
All right. Rob.
So, like most of you, I think at this point, going by your reactions, I went into this thinking, I don't think it's going to be as bad as I'm afraid it'll be. But it was definitely worse than I was afraid of. While I will say I've seen other like cash grab movies based on old franchises before, this one feels less cash grabby to me. It feels like they actually wanted to make something. Kind of like what Joe was saying. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't work on any level. It's borderline unwatchable for me. It's so long, so boring, and so convoluted that I just can't even grasp it, let alone recommend it to anyone else. So yeah, it's definitely a no for me.
You know who recommended it? Brick. He actually liked it.
There's so much I need to unpack there, but this is not the time or place. But yeah, as you were brought up with your statement before, like I think
Brick hated Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
It's not.
Liked A-Team. Okay,
yeah.
I just want to.
Yeah, no, that happened.
This is why we do not let him pick out movies. There is an extra added sadness to lost potential.
Yeah,
that is.
Well, at the top of the episode, we talked about the cast is good. All fair. We were talking about other movies that are based on like 80s nostalgia. That's Battleship and all these other things. They're just unwatchable, and there's a lot of untapped potential, unfortunately.
I think, like Rob said, this wasn't just a cash grab movie. They were actually trying.
The studio gave them a budget, committed to this film, and
I'm almost curious to see when we finally have to do Battleship, whether or not we're going to find that a more watchable movie.
It would be interesting, but I wouldn't count on it.
I'm not counting on it.
I think the plot's going to make more sense.
I wouldn't count on it.
Aliens.
I mean,
It's gonna be more dumb, but it'll be more able to be followed.
Yes.
Yes, this one made no sense. If I tried to explain it,
Yeah.
I don't think
But-
I could.
So, we did not recommend the A-Team. What would we recommend instead?
Predator or Aliens.
Yeah, or
Or
I mean, if you
aliens,
want like
yeah.
a team of people doing a thing like that's combat related, yeah, Predator probably. If you want a team of people that have some quirky personalities to do like a heist, I'd say like the Italian Job.
Honestly, the Expendables.
Expendables is better.
Yeah.
Definitely better.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable with that one yet, but
Any movie that has a picture of a team on a box.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's
Ninja-
a little
Ninja
too
Turtles?
broad.
Oh, there you go.
Ninja, I would recommend Ninja Turtles of this. But anyway,
Okay, anything that's not Fantastic Four that has a team on the box.
so what do we have next for the people?
Well, guys, it's time to roll the D20 of fate. Every week, one of us rolls the D20, and we go through a big random list, and that tells us what movie we are going to enjoy next time. And this time, it
Hopefully.
is Joe's turn.
You ready for it? You ready for it?
So ready.
Got the list ready?
I got.
Oh,
Jeez, dude.
and our new thing is broken.
It's a 7. I apologize. That looked cooler in my head. I did not mean to throw that into your
All right.
computer.
Well, we are back into the world of Agent J and Agent
Oh dear.
K. Is it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're watching the original Men in Black. Numero uno.
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe throwing it violently into your computer would bring about somewhat decent movies.
Maybe.
You experiment with it more.
Maybe leaving big ass dents in my tabletop is not going to be.
I drove it into my own notebook.
Oh, all right. You can damage your own property as much as you like.
He got too excited from watching B.A. Baracus drive that guy.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, so Men in Black is our next movie.
Yeah.
That should be an interesting one.
Need a nap.
I think we all do. So let's call this quits until next time with Men in Black.
But first, a quick note: we are going to be doing an episode on Avengers Endgame.
What?
Yeah. Except here's the Thanos-like twist: it's going to only be available to our Patreon patrons.
Oh no!
All two of you.
Yeah, so start one of you. So dig deep into your wallets, kids, and it'll
There's
be
still time.
it'll be available after a short time to the general public. But for now, we really want to say thank you to our patrons. So we're going to go ahead and make that a Patreon exclusive episode for now. So that's a cool thing that we're doing. You should definitely check out our Patreon page. And in the meantime, we want to thank you so very much for listening to our podcast. If you liked what you heard, please consider subscribing. For our episode archive, merch store, and more information, check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can contact us by following us on Twitter or Facebook at 4ampodcast, or you can email us at the 4ampodcast@.com. And of course, again, if you want to help support us, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/4ampodcast.
Stuff is coming.
I would also like to give a special shout out to the brand new mixing board that this is being recorded on.
So,
Some of which was paid for by funds.
yeah,
from
big
listeners.
shout outs to our supporters, specifically our episode sponsors, which really helped us in getting a fancy new mixing board. It's got all kinds of lights and stuff on
I
it.
can't speak to its quality, but it is 4 times bigger than the old mixing board.
Hopefully, it will bring you all a better sound.
It sounds better on the right off the cut, and hopefully that quality will start coming through.
Covered with 100% more words
It definitely
and
is
has
way
double
more-
the switches required to turn it
more
on.
dials
And
stuff.
I'm very sorry to everyone out there who now realize that it is not the problem with bad mics. I just actually sound like this.
No, actually, the mics are still garbage.
Well, yes.
But that's hit that Patreon. All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening again. We'll be back with Men in Black. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Adios.
Good night, everybody.
I think we're doing different parts of the song. Yep.
Because it's sticky and unpleasant. Nobody wants it.